What's going on, you beefy barbarians? Colin here with Red Beans and Dice. Today I'm going to be doing a review of Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. So, what is it? It's a 1 to 5 cooperative board game where you're going to pick your favorite hero from the Lord of the Rings universe, and you'll be going through a campaign, accomplishing different objectives and killing different enemies. You'll build and customize a deck for your hero that will change as you gain experience, which you can buy new cards or as your role changes. This deck and how you manage your cards will be a huge deciding factor on whether or not you survive the campaign and whether or not you can accumulate lore to upgrade your weapons. Each hero during their turn will have 2 actions to either move, interact with a token on the board, or attack an enemy on the board. The game tiles, where the tokens are placed, where the enemies are placed, and how the enemies attack are actually all navigated by the app that you use for the game, which can be downloaded for free on Google Play, the App Store, or on Steam. At the beginning of each rally phase, you'll be instructed to scout 2. So what does that mean? You're going to take the top 2 cards off of your deck. You'll be able to either place both of them on top, both of them on bottom, one on top, one on bottom, or you can prepare one of those cards, which you'll only be able to do with 4 of them. You can never have more than 4 prepared cards with your hero. And then you can place the extra card on top or bottom. It's just whatever you want to do. So you can have a card prepared that you can later on play to hurt an enemy or heal a hero. And then if there's like a success on top of one of the cards, you can keep that on top of your deck so that you can draw it later when you have a test, knowing that you'll have on that first test at least 1 success that comes out. When performing a test, you will flip over the amount of cards that your stat indicates. For example, if you have 3 might, you'll flip over 3 cards. Any successes that are indicated in the corner will be automatic successes. If you see a leaf symbol, this means that you'll be able to use a inspiration token that you have accumulated earlier to pass as a success. So here I have Legolas picked out. I've started with the bow and the cloak, which they recommend for you. Now you can pick any other weapon that you want, but I do recommend that you use the weapons that they indicate for you to use. Now, why I would say that is because up here we have an agility symbol, so this bow is actually going to use agility, which is one of Legolas's highest stats down here. So you're going to be flipping over 4 cards when you attack with that, which is optimal. So I recommend that you use whatever they tell you to start off with. Over here, we have some of the hunter cards, which I chose Legolas to be a hunter. So you're going to start with 3 of these cards. You're going to have 5 Legolas cards that are just basically for him. And then you're going to have 6 basic cards that are used for everybody. So each hero is going to get 6 basic cards, 5 cards with their name on it, which are unique to that hero, and then 3 for the role that you pick, which you can change at the end of campaigns. You don't have to be a hunter the whole time. And then as you gain experience, you'll actually be able to buy new hunter cards and equip them and put them into your deck. Each deck is going to come with 1 weakness card, which just takes up space. If you draw it, nothing happens. It's like the roommate that doesn't pay rent. You just want it out of there. It doesn't do anything. So that is that. And then over here we have the stat card for Legolas. So we have a picture of someone that doesn't look like Legolas from the movie. We have the baseline stats of everything he has over here. We have how much fear he can take, how much damage he can take, how many inspiration tokens that he can hold, and then a unique ability that you should keep an eye on and try to use as much as possible. Sometimes with everything that's going on and the cards that you have prepared or the events that are happening, you can forget about that. But each one of these skills for each one of these heroes is very good and they should be kept track of. So at the beginning of your first campaign, this is what Legolas's setup should look like. You're going to start out with the card with the 3 stars to the left and to the right, and this is going to be automatically prepared. Each character is going to have one with the stars next to it, and that means it'll just be prepared in your area. You can use it as indicated whenever you want. I'm going to have my deck of basic cards, cards unique to Legolas, and then his role shuffled right here, which should equal out to 15, excuse me. So 14, and then this will be the 15th one. I have his equipment cards that were suggested for me, which I highly recommend that you use the ones that they tell you to, because, for example, He's going to be attacking with agility over here, which is actually his highest stat. So that means that he's going to draw 4 cards and have 4 chances to potentially wound an enemy or pass a test. So at the beginning of each rally phase, you're going to go ahead and scout 2. And what that basically means is you're going to pick up the top 2 cards from your deck. And now you can prepare one of these or none of these. I can put both of these on top, both of these on bottom, or I could prepare one and then put the other one on top or bottom. You can do whatever you want. Or you can put one on top, one on bottom. Doesn't matter. So just to give an example for this, I'm going to take this card over here and prepare it. So I put it down there. I can only prepare 4 cards at a time. Now this has a success symbol in the upper left-hand corner, so I'm going to keep that on top. So I know that when I do my next test, I'm going to have 1 success automatically on top there. So for example, let's say Legolas is going to attack an enemy. How do I do that? I'm going to use the agility symbol to attack with his great bow. So he has 4 for agility. So that means I'm going to draw 4 cards. So let's do that and go ahead with it. So 1, and remember I put this on top, so I automatically know I'm going to have 1 success with this. So 1 success. There's my second card. There's my third card. And then there's my 4th card. So these weakness cards, they don't do anything. They just take up space. This doesn't have a inspiration token, so I can't spend an inspiration token to get a success for it. So I got 1 success. Now I have this card over here, which has the inspiration token in the upper left-hand corner. Let's say, for example, I had one of these down here. That means I could spend this and turn this card, Unyielding Spirit, into a success. So if I use this inspiration token and played it on this card right here, I would have 2 successes. So what that means is I can go up here onto my weapon, and as you can see, 2 successes means that it's going to be 5 hits. So that's how many damage points I would use to hit on the enemy that I was targeting. And that's how you attack. And it's basically the same concept for whenever you do a skill check also, whether it's might or wisdom or spirit or wit, whatever it is. Over the campaign, you'll accumulate damage and fear. If you accumulate too much damage or too much fear, you'll have to take a test to see whether or not your character actually stays on the board. So there's 2 types of damage and fear. There's face down, and then there's just normal fear damage. So face down, you're going to take the card, you're going to put it face down, and that will just stay there until you can heal it. Face up damage means that you will read what is on the card and then resolve it as needed. After each campaign, you'll be able to upgrade your weapons or any items that you've accumulated through lore. Lore is basically money. That's all it means. So about 2 days ago, I finished up the last campaign and I did lose, which means I lost the game. I still had an absolutely wonderful time playing this game. If you're wondering whether or not I recommend it, I do. I was a little turned off by the app. I didn't want to have a screen telling me what to do, and I wasn't sure how it was going to work. I was just kind of pessimistic of the whole thing. But let me tell you, the app is great. It actually helps you keep track of a lot of things. It helps you kind of keep this game compact, tight, and quick. Give it a chance. And then also the app is free, so if you have any questions about this game, you can kind of go onto there, and there's actually I think you can look at the rules there. It's a really good game. I'm going to give it 8 red beans out of 10, so really good score. I highly recommend it. You get to upgrade your weapons. You can upgrade your cards. The heroes are just absolutely amazing. I used Argon and Barivor. I think that was her name. Oh my gosh, I forgot. But I had a great time with them. And then the models are also wonderful. They're great to paint. I got through the troll, and then I painted Argon and Legolas. So I haven't gone through all of them, but really, really great models. And then another thing I want to mention is the replayability of this. Each time that you start a campaign, the tiles that are placed are actually going to be randomized and different. And each campaign that you go through, if I play campaign 1 with this guy, we'll call him person 1, I am going to get a completely different map setup than if I play with person 2 the second time. So it's going to be randomly generated, which is great because sometimes if you play a mission over again, you know where everything is going to pop up. And this randomizes it. It makes it more exciting and tricky and fun, and you're also not going to get the same enemies. I was looking for the ruffians at a certain part that I had played before, and a wolf or a warg popped up, so I had to deal with that, and I wasn't expecting it, which makes, once again, the replayability very good on this game. So a little bit of the things that bothered me, there was just two of them. So the first thing was going to be that some of the cards are a little small, and I understand that there are going to be a lot of cards. You have your items, you have your boons, you have your damage and fear, you have your prepared cards, your deck. So all of those things can take up a lot of space, but I think for the cards that you're using for your actual abilities with the successes on them, I think those could be standard size. I understand that some of them need to be a little smaller just for, consolidating the space. But I think that standard size cards would probably be a great addition for the cards with the successes that you can prepare. I think that 4 of those could easily be placed down there, and I don't think that would be much of a problem. But, all the cards are, about yay size, so they're a little smaller. And then each turn you have to shuffle them up, and so you're shuffling these small cards. It's not a big deal, but it's just something that I noticed that I thought I would let you know about. Also, taking some of the damage and fear, if you get hit with some of those really, really bad cards that don't let you attack or move or take away this or that, if you get hit with some of those early on, which you can and you will get hit with, it can really take some of the wind out of your sail. Oh, don't worry, guys. I can take 3 damage. No problem. Got it. So it makes it very difficult and competitive, but at the same time, I had 2 missions where I think Argon had been basically crippled within the second turn, and I was just going through the motions of the whole mission. Let's get through it. Let's see what happens, and let's get on to the next campaign. So that was something that I kind of noticed that I didn't really like, and I understand it makes the game difficult. It also makes it more rewarding when you win. Alright guys, I just wanted to say I had an absolute blast making this video. All in all, for 85 bucks, I think this is a really, really good game and I highly recommend it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about the board game, leave them in the comments below. And if you liked my video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you can see more content of mine. Thank you so much and have a great day.